Many of you know that our state has received a generous supply of funding through the federal stimulus grants to help gear up our workforces to assume these opportunities. In some respects, the economy hasn't cooperated quite as well as we would have liked. We don't have as many jobs being created as perhaps we would like to see. We hope that's going to change. But even in the midst of all that, I know that many of you, each of you have expressed some concerns about what we need to do to prepare for recovery in this industry and how we prepare right now for those jobs that we've currently got. Any thoughts on what those big challenges you see are going to be? Sean?
One thing that, that is glaringly apparent to us in dealing with a lot of our current contractors are some of the voids that currently exist. As far as journeyman wiremen, technicians, there's always a stream of individuals looking to come into the trades, coming into our apprenticeship programs. But some of the other occupations or fields and the nomenclature that explains them varies, depends upon who you talk to and what circles you're involved in. The energy management specialist, the energy conservation specialist, the person, the energy modeler, the person that compiles all the information from the energy audits and sells that to the building owner or the project developer. Those individuals, those occupations, we have contractors currently that are looking for those specific individuals. Majority of the community technical colleges are training towards the sexy things, the sexy solar and wind and things of that nature, which is great and wonderful. However, these are voids that exist. Some of our community college partners that are looking to expand their niches and define areas where they can train. These are voids that exist today, and there's going to be more of them going forward. That is something that is very troubling to us.
Well, I think in all of our areas of work, there are going to be voids and gaps as we move forward, whether it's on the technical trade side or in the engineering base as well. But we're looking at, there's going to be a consistent need for data collection, individuals that are not only able to collect, but analyze the data and manage it. We are just going to get in such an overload. Smart buildings will be wonderful if the information is integrated in a way that the outcomes can be actionable. And so collecting the data is one thing, knowing how to manage it, and then also, again, getting back to that translatable skill, translate it back to a customer so that they can make some actionable plans to have outcomes in a positive result. With that, it's hard to really clearly define exactly what the person is that we're not being able to find today. I thought it was interesting this morning, I believe it was Mark saying that he was interviewing for a smart building engineer, and there were 4 people on the steering committee, and 4 people had different priorities, but they actually wanted the one person to have all the blend of those capabilities. And I think that's really blending capabilities and having that adaptable workforce moving forward. We live in an integrated world. Our industry has somewhat historically been somewhat siloed, and so we are going to have to be looking at a workforce that is easily adaptable, able to look at technology in a new and different way, and also manage this onslaught of information that's going to be coming our way and is really going to be the key to running buildings more efficiently and making a difference on this subject.
So the 3 key pieces to transform the Northwest and North America towards a zero net energy future, of course, which we're targeting generally throughout the broader segment of industry, at least in the building systems industry, we're targeting the year 2030 in accordance with the 2030 challenge for zero net energy buildings by the year 2030. We are on a good glide path towards that right now. ASHRAE is developing a host of guides and technologies. We need to train our workforce to understand all the principles and techniques, analysis, and how to install the products properly and maintain and operate those. And it all comes down to sort of 3 key issues, I think, to get there. It's policy, technology, and behavior. We need to have an enabling policy from our legislatures. We need to continue to develop these new technologies and train our workforce so that we understand them. And of course, ultimately, we need to have the right behavior on the part of the end user and the operators, the utilities, and so forth. And so those are my 3 key summaries: policy, technology, and behavior.
The people who are coming into the business now, are just awestruck by how exciting an industry it is. And I think there's a special responsibility, if you will, for utilities to be a key player with some of this collaboration, because our ability to serve customers is dependent upon new generation. Our new generation, again, energy efficiency being the major one. The utility is not the experts in some of the trades. They're not the expert in some of the energy management. They're not the experts in developing some of the new technologies. They are in delivering the electricity, and they have to be able to manage how much electricity they deliver and how much they can plan on delivering. Will that change our cost structures? Yes, so we talk about things like smart grid, and there's some exciting things about what the smarter grid will enable us to do. There's also some costs associated with that. That's going to show up in your utility rates, but we're all paying for that as a society. By the way, for incentives, that's where they come from too, your electric utility rates. So we do want more incentives, but that is the utility rate payers ultimately investing in that as their next resource. Again, part of that bargain the utility industry has in society where we're obligated to serve means we have this sort of monopoly kind of relationship. So it is a very unique part of our society through the utilities to be a major coordinator and driver, again, with some of the incentives that we provide, but we're certainly very interested in making sure that we have a workforce for the future, and quite frankly, with the goals we see here in the Northwest, sooner than later is really the message that we want to get out. And I think, I heard one comment at one point about how it's unusual that the Northwest has done so much energy efficiency where the rates are relatively low. You look in other parts of the country where rates are significantly higher, and we're continually amazed at the fact that there is much less progress by electric utilities and gas utilities in the area of energy efficiency. There's a few parts of the country where a lot of that's going on, but we still got a lot of the rest of the country to bring along. So I think we're very fortunate to live in this region. We are sort of on the cutting edge. We may not be on the cutting edge of smart grid for some good reasons, actually, but as all that technology comes available, we are on the cutting edge of energy efficiency, and I think we're going to be collaborating not only amongst ourselves, but also a showcase for some of the rest of the country.
A person comes into the industry 16, 17 years old, maybe 18 after high school. They come into our apprenticeship program. They become a journey level, low voltage technician. They decide they want to become an energy modeler. They need to have a seamless transition out of these different overlapping circles. There's no longer business as usual, and the industries, all of us are involved in energy in some form or fashion, and we're not siloed any longer. People need to be able to transfer back and forth some kind of career workforce matrix, so it's seamless to move from Cascadia to Edmonds, University of Washington, to the building construction trades and back again. It used to be that a person worked 30 years, the entire professional life with one company, 30 or 40 years. Then it changed to changing careers, not jobs, but changing careers 3 or 4 times. Now it's 5 times for the average person. 5 times they're changing careers. So we all need to embrace that. That is the new norm, and that's going to continue to change. As we embrace the youth, they have more ADHD than the rest of us here, so they want to change the next thing that comes along. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We need to encompass that because you're going to deal with these individuals on a regular basis. And in closing, going back to the workforce issue, we are in the business of providing labor, individuals to perform work, whether it's a solar panel, whether it's an energy conservation measure, or whether it's a new wind turbine. The only thing that a wise man told me many, many years ago, work knows but one thing: work wants to be done. Work does not care what you look like, how many tattoos you have, what the color of your hair is, what your sexual orientation is. Work does not care. We as humans, we add these other cloaks and guises and other restrictions on who gets to perform the work. But work itself does not care. So as we embrace individuals, the youth, people from overseas, to perform this work, all of our institutions need to have doors open to embrace these individuals. Some of them have made mistakes in the past and may not have that shining 4-page, 2-page resume, on, gold embossed paper and so on and so forth. That's not going to be the case, but there's still individuals that want to perform work. We all need to invest in work, and we all know there's plenty of work that needs to be done. So open your doors, open your eyes, and invite individuals to perform the work.